Yeah, I was about to say, who is this lady? Who is this white lady on the
Hello.
show? I was like, I'm on the wrong show.
Hey, y'all.
Who gave her the link?
And
It ain't
we
nothing like
cannot
new
sleep
hair,
on
like
we
a new
cannot
piece
sleep
of
on
hair,
Jackie.
baby. Oh
It
my
ain't nothing
goodness.
like a new piece of hair. We have a new
Welcome to the
co-host every
beautiful
week.
family. Oh my goodness.
Hey, y'all.
How you doing?
I miss y'all.
Hello, hello.
I miss
I'm just
y'all.
getting here. I'm back to work.
Yes.
Woo.
I'm at the cigar shop. It was closer than trying to get to my house. So I stopped. I was like, I need y'all's back room.
Look, I just finished
Cause
eating.
we got to talk
Guys, and you
about
said
this
you
sheriff
can't
debate.
eat this. What you say, Jackie?
I said, I can't be late. We got to talk about this sheriff's debate. That joker was off the chain.
Yes, indeed. Look, why don't you go ahead and get us started
Girl.
off? We'll come back to your the Black
Are
History
we live?
facts for those who. Yes, we are live.
All right.
Happy
All right. So yes, good
Tuesday.
evening, everybody. Good evening. Happy Tuesday. Jay,
Jay,
Alicia, everybody's good
I got
today?
my glass. Where you at?
Yeah.
All right, then. Okay, all right.
Yeah. Y'all gonna have
We
to drink
ready.
enough for me today.
I'm
So
just hydrating
all
with
right.
fruit water.
So I just with fruit water. Okay. Yeah, I really need something, but I'm gonna wait. I need something a little just experience. So I have been, as you guys know, we've got an election November 2nd. And so there have been several forums with the candidates for sheriff, and there are 13 of them. And this evening, there were 6, 7, maybe, and it got pretty heated. It got pretty heated. The basic questions were, how, sheriff, how would you help or improve, the crime rate and so on and so forth, and it always falls back on Jackson because Jackson is the largest municipality in the county. So we have more, a lot more issues. I believe we're up to 123 homicides, maybe somewhere around the area.
Yeah.
But
23.
these folks, as I told you guys, they went in. It got kind of personal, and for a couple of them, and there were some attacks. Chrysler a couple of times, and then I think Leon got in a little bit. It was Seals, but for the most part, I believe, on or or the other, overwhelmed citizens of Hinds County, there will be a runoff. I don't see how that. Now, I'm not going to say it's not possible, because anything's possible. But they talked about this. The questions have been the same regarding the jail or the detention center. And I think what they have not said to folks, everybody on the panel said, we got to build another jail. That was everyone on the panel was saying that. We got to build another jail. Got to build another jail. But what you have to understand is that is not a jail. That was built. That's a holding facility. When that facility in Raymond off of Highway 18 was built, it was built to hold. It was a holding facility, and so it was a holding facility, and it over a period of time and years, because people don't get through the system as quickly as they legally should. They end up they're there 2, 3, 4, 5 years before they go to trial. So it became a jail, and I've actually worked in it. I worked in it under the Tyrone Lewis administration, and I'm telling you, it is not. It's not. It doesn't serve. It doesn't serve the inmates. It doesn't serve the people working there. It's bad, and I know that there are worse, in different communities. I'm just not sure if, the criminal justice system it's a business, and so when you start talking about building jails, then you're talking about padding pockets. People are making money, and so the longer folks are in there, and the more beds there are, the more money these people make. I think it's Bob Barker has the largest retail for the jails. Bob Barker has his company. They get everything from his company, all the clothes, shoes, beds, linen, everything. Bob Barker is dead, and he's making a hell of a lot of money still, because it is what it's about that. Yeah. I can't say that is our answer. I know that we're under this consent decree, and that was another question, another subject that they discussed. And a couple of the candidates know a little bit about the consent decree, and then there are others that obviously are not as in tune or prepared to even speak on those issues. But the election is November 2nd. It's a special election. Everyone on the ballot is running. They're running as independents because it is a special election, and so it's just going to come down to, I believe, who can turn their voters out. People that told them that they would vote for them, they've got to get them to the polls. I can't tell you whether or not there are going to be any major after tonight's debate. But I think there are a couple of people, and I can go on record and I say this. I think that there are 3 for sure that are up in 3, maybe 4 in the top running. One of them is a female. I don't know if she has enough name ID right now to do that in this short period of time. She's very qualified. She actually came from the FBI, and she for like 31 years or so. But I think that we need to really look at, understand how important it is. We've had 3 sheriffs in the past. How many? 3, 4 in the last two terms, at least 2 terms. I mean, due to deaths, obviously. Well, the last one due to death
sheriffs and mayors.
Chief Dance, but Malcolm McMillan was the longest running sheriff, and he was white. And so you had people in the audience, saying, when are we going to have a Black sheriff that we have for more than, 1 term? When are we going to, that kind of thing? And so, well, it's, I don't know. I think we are our own worst enemy. We don't support when we have the opportunity to support, and then we don't vote, and we end up getting people that are absolutely have, another agenda that don't have us in mind, and so we end up where we are. One of the questions or comments from the audience was, last night, I guess the mayor made a statement, and I wrote it down because this lady said it. The mayor made a statement, said he wasn't changing anything. And
Right.
I guess crime is what it is. In his state of Virginia, he said he's not changing anything. No new protocols with JPD because the majority of the violence is due to impersonal issues where individuals have disputes and violence and shooting. And so that was a big turnoff for a lot of folks that were in the audience, they were discussing that. Because I wrote it down. I said, he said what? And she told me. So I was like, let me get this in, because I'm going to have to look at that. But, while that may be true, a lot of our homicides have been personal, but not all of them. And they're getting very violent to where it's not even safe to be in public places.
So Jackie, can I just chime in on something? So you were mentioning that people,
Yes.
some of the people that are running, maybe people that run sometimes have a different agenda. So I guess for me, one of the things that kind of bother me about it is the thing that I keep hearing about, let's build another jail. I mean, I understand that things are really, really bad, and it's at a very crucial point right now. But when I hear that, all I think about is, okay, well, let's just throw all what will be predominantly Black and brown men and women in jail and just lock them up. And of course, someone else is going to make money from that, but still, you don't solve the problem. And so their ideas, just throw them in jail, so we don't care. Don't try to come up with something else more creative. Instead of trying to come up with something where, let's do something where we don't end up having to throw them in jail. Let's do something where we can try to come up with some way to prevent or lessen crime before it gets to the point that we have to throw them in jail. Because when I hear that, it's like, let's just, just shove them in there and just lock the door and let them just do whatever, and then when they're in there, you don't do anything to make it better for them for the time when it comes that they have to get out, for those that they get out, because we can get to talking about the sentences, the unfairness in the sentencing, and that's a whole different thing. But let's just throw them in jail. That's, that to me, if that was what their answer is, and say, we need to build another jail, we want to build another jail, that to me just is not resolving the problem. And it just seems like they don't really, really care to say, let's just throw them in jail. What else can we do?
I agree. I agree with you wholeheartedly.
Well, so they talked about.
I mean, is it something else? Is it that we can maybe focus more on community neighborhood watch in a different way? Is it that maybe we need to, they talk about more of a police
well, that was several
visibility, of but where is that? Is that really being done? Is it really more of a police visibility that's going on? Maybe you can sit down somebody, they're always talking about defund the police. Well, maybe we need to focus on what can we bring into the community that may pull these boys and girls out of these gangs or out of this desire to commit crimes to get money, or for whatever reason they want to do it. What else can we do? We've exhausted. Well, let's do a mentor program. Okay, well, if the mentor program is not working, maybe we need to sit down with these different organizations that's in the community that say they're there to help and come up with a different solution. And I remember hearing about the mayor saying he wasn't doing anything.
So there's a laundry list,
and I was
differently.
It's sad, but it's true.
There's a laundry list of things we can start.
Something else other than
the fact that we don't have enough police visibility.
And make somebody else a billionaire.
Some of the candidates that's what happened. Several of the candidates talked about starting in the schools, working with the schools, working with the different school systems, Jackson Public Schools, bringing in someone, in the audience said, a lot of the churches are corrupt, so then, you do that. But it's not all of them. So it's like, so you can't count them out. So there are levels. There are levels that
Yeah. Even
need
to
to
the
be met.
level of, maybe it needs to get back to the point where at the end of the day, you give the parents back their right to be parents. You got so many parents that scared, oh God, if I whoop him, he gonna call,
because
child
they'll take
protective
my
services
child.
on me.
Yeah.
So, so
Yeah.
then he's out of control.
Yeah.
The child, he or she is out of control already because they already know,
Yeah.
they have this advantage when you're trying to discipline them. And so, you could go all the way back to the root of the home, or you could just go to peer pressure, because sometimes the home can be great and they still go out and do things, and a lot of times you hear kids say, well, I just wanted a family, or I just wanted somebody to show that they love me. It's just so many different avenues that we could take or revisit other than throw them in the jail. Because when I hear that, all I think of is somebody else becoming a billionaire off the back of Black men and women, especially our little boys. It goes so far back that the Black male is missing in the household.
For absolutely almost nothing criminal. They are billionaires off of sentencing Black and brown people at all costs. Not criminal costs, but at all costs. For me, jail what typically was supposed to have been rehabilitation is nowhere near rehabilitation. They're not being rehabilitated. They're not given the opportunities really to be rehabilitated. They're being thrown away
and being indoctrinated,
locked up, and they are being treated like they're not human. Most of them, even in criminal situations. Yes, you do a crime, you should do the time. There's time you should do for that. I totally agree with that, but I don't think that our system dissects criminal behavior from mental health behavior. And I think that is a main issue in our judicial system and constantly building jails. We have police officers, chiefs, sheriffs, FBI agents, and all who can't even determine and tell mental illness from criminal activity. And I think that is a major issue. That is a major issue. And that comes from being power struck. That comes from feeling I'm in charge, to where you don't even care whether a person is truly mentally ill or have some type of disability, even something as simple as being autistic. How do you get killed, or someone get killed helping someone autistic? That is absolutely ridiculous, and it's sad that we live in a world and we live in a country that does not see that, or they see it and just turn a blind eye to it and will not correct that.
Well, I think too, Jay, is that they don't care to see it, because the first thing they see is your Black or brown skin. So because they see that first, that's the first thing they target. So that's a target. So we hadn't shot our guns off all night long. So here's somebody that's Black or brown. And that goes back again to people who not understanding when you say defund the police. We're not saying don't pay the police, and we don't need them in the community. We're saying you need other specialists or experts to go out there with you, especially when they're going to be encountering African-American males or females. Because like you said, they don't even care what's going on. But it could be a white male or female walking bucket naked, running up the street, screaming and hollering with a weapon in their hand. They are going to manage to arrest that person without
I'm still waiting right now in Jackson, Mississippi, where I live, in Fondren, on North State Street. I'm waiting to this day, from the day I called 911 JPD on a white man. I'm watching him steal from my neighbors. I was put on hold for 45 minutes.
Terrible.
By the Jackson Police Department. And still today, I have yet to see a patrolman come. I even followed the individual with my phone and recorded him. And I still have the recording.
So that shows that the problem, even the problem is even there in the people that are supposed to serve and protect, really don't care to do so.
The people that are supposed to serve and protect are part of the problem.
Exactly.
And they're part of the problem because I'm not speaking from what nobody told me. I'm speaking from experience. No, it's not all, but it's majority. And that comes from, there was an accident at my front door. I live on State Street, the main street. It was an accident on my front door that ended up being a shootout. For the officer to get here and tell one of the shooters, I don't care, put your gun up. They are the problem. They're hiring people who just want a check.
Yeah.
You're hiring people who just want a check because you don't have qualified people to really take on these positions.
Right. And it's almost like dealing with a child. A child knows which parent that they can and cannot act up with. They know whether that parent cares or not, enough. I'm a snatcher, not in you or not. So even with the criminals, they know, man, them police officers really don't care. They don't mind, man. They ain't gonna do nothing. They gonna ride right by. They don't even come through this way, or crime happens. Okay, well, you'll go out and put the tape up. You'll go look at the scene. And then a year from now, people are still asking questions and saying, what are you doing to try to get the arrest the suspect and the right suspect? So it starts right there. You pick up on the vibe, the energy, and the attitude and the mindset of even the law enforcement here in Jackson. And so that says a lot right there. If you don't think that you have to fear anything, then you're going to be bold, If you don't have to worry about it, you're going to just kick doors in broad daylight. You're going to rob stores in broad daylight. You're going to kill each other in front of somebody else and keep going. Why? Jackson police, what they going to do?
My cousin, the police. He ain't gonna let nothing happen to me.
Nothing, forget it.
So
now you say something.
The most important thing is for people to go out and vote November the 2nd in the special election. And people need to understand how important elections are. And that if they don't show up and do their part, then you really can't complain. Our vote is our voice. And that's how you have to look at it like this. You are hiring a person for a job. You are their employer. And if you don't look at it like that, you have an opportunity to participate in their interviewing process. And if you don't show up at the polls and vote,
what can you say?
And I have to be honest. I have to be honest with this special election coming up. I have no clue. It's kind of where do you go from here?
Yeah.
Yes, I've been reading and I've been kind of trying to research some backgrounds and stuff, but I personally have no clue.
And that's not good. It really
so
is.
You have to, do
I have no clue on how to narrow it down.
Ask people that you respect. Who are they voting for and why? And so you get a lot of information that way.
Let me ask Jackie also. So Jackie, I saw I'm kind of like Jay. You really don't have a clue. But I saw the other day when they were talking about, I think his name is Tyrese Jones, and the advertisement that they did on television for him. What stood out for me is that they showed a picture of, I think what he said was a 5-point plan. And so I was like, okay, so he's got a plan. So he's got some realize of what he wants to do, and he can share that with us so we can look at that and see, what do you have in mind? How do you plan on going about getting this accomplished? But I have not seen that with the few other candidates that I've seen on television. So at the debate, did they mention what their plan or agenda was, or if they had a 5-point plan, 10-point plan, what? Other than throw them out, then build another jail.
Right. So yeah, well, the Jones, Tyree Jones, he talked a little bit about what he wanted to do, how he wanted to implement it. So did Leon Seals. He had a 15-day plan.
A 15-day plan.
And several of them come 15-day plan. Several of them come from prior administrations. Several of them come from worked in prior administrations, all the way back to Malcolm McMillan. And so there were certain things that worked during those administrations that they want to implement that they think will work now.
To bring back.
But I think
Jay, feel me.
Yeah, to bring back There were people in the audience. There were people in the audience saying, we need to start kicking indoors, and just all of that other stuff. When this is 2021, you're kicking the door now, huh?
Until that door get kicked in,
yeah.
Huh?
So let me ask this. Well, not really ask. I'll make a statement. So like, in trying to research and read on some of Tyree Jones, Marshawn Chrysler, and the lady's name. Anyway, so I just kind of pulled some stuff up.
Williams.
Okay.
Williams. Yeah.
In my mind, normally for me, when this is my personal view when it comes to election and me choosing a candidate, I want to know in this area that what you're running for, sheriff, as far as your background history. If you was a part of this previous administration or that previous administration, what was your behavior when you was a part of that administration?
That's a good question.
What did you do during that time at whatever position you were in that assures me that for you to be promoted on this job that you will do and can do now?
Yeah.
For me. And frankly, I'm sorry. I haven't seen anything that any of them have done but held a job. Me personally. That's why I have no clue.
But there were 3. They were promoted to commander, and others to lieutenant, and just different, but in different departments.
I think a lot of them was by name.
It's really difficult to get all the information out when they only have a minute 30 seconds to respond to questions. So I think the only way you will know that, honestly, is to talk to people that know them, or talk to them, speak to them, themselves. And all of them said that they are open. I got everybody's phone numbers. If you want to call them, Jay, you can call them. They'll talk to you, that kind of stuff. But this is
this their first debate, Jackie?
This is the first debate.
No, we've
had several debates.
No.
They had this is the first one I heard about. Okay.
So, we have to move on with other topics. We done spent 30 minutes talking about these people.
Because it's juicy. This is hot. You see me and Jay had to refill.
We live here.
I had to go to Jay for a refill. What you talking about?
I mean, it's something to discuss. Like, it really is. But we have to move on. You're right.
All righty. What y'all want to talk about next? What story y'all want to move to?
Let's talk about this January 6th.
There's so much going on. You know what?
There's so much in the world. The only thing I want to say about January 6th is...
What about Chappelle? Can we talk about Dave Chappelle?
Was Chappelle in the line? I don't even know. Let's see. Keeping you runway ready.
Make her own lineup.
Only thing I can say about Chappelle, one of the things he said was, talk to me after you seen the special. I haven't seen it yet, so I don't really. Yeah, because I haven't watched it yet. I did watch a clip on Twitter where he was talking about a friend of his that he had that was transgender, and he was saying how bold it was that I guess it was the I don't remember the name, but the person came out, and tried to defend him and say, that he's not punching down or he's not punching up, but he's, doing his punchline. He's a great comedian. And so then David Chappelle seemed like he was really upset with the fact he said, and then people came after him and attacked this person so bad that he killed himself. And so he seemed really hurt. Okay, killed herself. She seemed really hurt about that. And he was like, that was my friend. He was like, that was my friend. And she stuck up for me and she killed herself because people treated her so bad.
The same community that's coming down on him came down on her.
That's what he said. And he was like, that was my friend. So, that's all that I know. I hadn't watched it.
I'm not a licensed psychologist, but
yes, you are, Jay.
I do believe that I know this community so well, and I say that from experience. I say that from testimonies. I say that from just 40 years of it. And first, let me say that Dave Chappelle closure with Netflix was not offensive to me as a gay Black man who has lived a trans experience as well. One, it wasn't offensive to me because he's no one that I follows, never have. He's no one that I've ever paid any attention to, not even now. Even though I watched the special, I watched it so I could, commentate intelligently about it. But so that's my main factor. Nothing that a person don't mean anything to me. It just don't affect me. But that's me. Now, I do understand the trans community, and I do understand the LGBTQ community that was affected and offended by it. I understand it because as long as anyone has a platform, big or small, anywhere that you promote hatred and violence, it gives people the okay to be violent or be hateful towards a community of people, no matter what genre it is. If we incite here hatred and malicious intent here, there may be someone who's going to take that and run with that. Oh, well, they gave me the okay to, they don't like him. I follow him. I'm with him. I don't like them either. Now, as far as Daphne goes and the community goes, that's with any, in my opinion, any community, even in the African American community. Mm-hmm. Hatred is hate. Hatred is hatred. Mm-hmm. She had the right to stand up for someone that her people did not believe in. She had that right to do that. However, I believe if he was as much a friend to Daphne as he say that he was, during that mental process that he was going through, he chose not to be there for that. Mm. He chose not to be that support. He spoke of it.
He said he wasn't around.
If you just listen to the storyline that he presents, he afforded Daphne the opportunity to open up for him as a comedian. There's a huge gap.
Yeah.
You have to realize the way that she was there.
There's a gap.
Support. When the people came down on her, she expected that same support.
Yeah. So, Jay, what about people who say he's just being a comedian? That is not hate. So I have nothing against
that. I have nothing against those.
Okay.
I have nothing against it.
He's like, well,
that's their opinion. Okay. Yeah, that's their opinion. Like I said, he didn't offend me, and I didn't take anything of it to heart. For those reasons, he didn't offend me. I looked at him, and he was being a comedian. He talked about everything under the sun. He called women female dogs through the entire segment. He called them female dogs. That I have a problem with, just as a person, period. But the word comedian has afforded comedians
a license. Yeah, they can cross the line and laugh.
They can cross the line as a joke, but they really can mean it in their hearts. Yeah. And that's where the issue lies. Because I can spew out
the name,
and we can laugh about it.
Yeah, he even talked about it.
But the next person is going to say,
he even talked about the Me Too movement. Remember, Jay? And he talked about the Me Too movement and that he would have done something different. He said that they didn't.
Donald Trump have followed.
It's like
the orange man have followed.
Yeah.
So,
it's like you mentioned about them calling female dogs. There are some comedians that constantly use that term and say that through their whole show. And for some people, comedians use the N word a lot. And for, like you said, it's everybody's different opinion. For me, I don't like to hear comedians use that word. I don't even like to hear it. So for me, just hearing that makes me uncomfortable. I get aggravated by that. And I'm offended when when a black man calls another, they just use that. So that bothers me. So like you said, it's kind of the opinion.
It's a term of endearment. In my community, it's a term of endearment.
Right. So it just depends on how somebody takes it. And it can vary.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I can't stand the word.
I just believe that with platforms, I think anyone with a platform has to be careful of the message that spread it. I mean, even with, I hate to go back to it, but Lil Nas was a big issue because of his platform. It was a big issue because of his platform. If we can be if we can't have self-expression all the way across the board, then everybody you just got to be careful with your platform. So now you have to pick and choose. Do I have self-expression, freedom of expression?
Right.
Or do
not. And what costs?
And that's my comment about this. We have to remind people that we live in a free country where you have freedom of expression. And this whole counsel culture, trying to counsel people for what they say and what they believe, unless that person is in a position of influence, unless that person have molested or raped somebody, it's just certain things that I believe a person should be held accountable for, but all of these things, they trying to counsel people for them giving their opinion or their feelings. They are allowed to have their opinions and feelings. And see, what people want people to do is lie to them, because once you attack people for, saying their truth, then other people gonna lie to you because they've seen what you've done to Larry, who told the truth. So
I agree with that.
I saw Dave Chappelle live in Vegas, and I was excited.
Good child.
Well, I mean,
I just need to hydrate. All this got me. I need to hydrate.
I just honestly, and it's not a demeaning way. I don't care. I just don't. I really don't. Dave Chappelle can say all the homophobic LGBTQ plus however many more alphabet and what he want to say, all he want to say. It's not going to affect me. It's not going to harm me. But I will be there for my people that are affected. They need somebody to talk to. If you want to share your feelings and emotions with somebody, I'm that person. I'm the go-to guy. You can lay on my couch, and I get my pad out and my ink pen or my recorder, and we have a session or session. I'm that person because
Jay, sometimes I just need somebody to talk to too, Jay.
They'll call me.
Okay, get the Zinfandel and some donuts. I'll be right over there.
Tell her make an appointment.
And stop being nosy. You can own clinic to your own nose because you know.
And clean your own grown nose. Okay.
Hey, that's what the word says.
Hey.
Got to get what they say. You got to pray for yourself sometimes. Can't ask me to do it all the time.
Take the needle out your own eye. Take the log out your own eye while looking at the needle. What you trying to say, Jackie?
Is it true that that I'm asking Jay? Like, I want to ask Jay: is it true that the community actually split by race also?
Yes, ma'am.
You said split by race.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Yes. Like there's a white LGBT community. There's just like, is it? Yeah.
It's split by race. It's split also by label of gender. It's split by everything. Your social, economic, everything. It is split. Yes, it is. It's a divided community within a community. Just African
like
American.
Every community.
My daughter was having this conversation with me.
Absolutely.
Yeah, just like every community. She was talking to me about my child was talking to me about it, and she was talking about the different things that they're trying to do in Arkansas, but how divided they are. And they're trying to, because you're stronger together. You're safer. You're stronger. You're more successful. Your lives will be better. She's like, Mom, we're here and here. And she's like, we grew up.
I have to agree. I have to agree with Dave Chappelle during his segment of closure when he spoke of that divide, and he spoke of that divide by saying how everyone is how your gay pride, is floating. Your gay pride is floating until it's time for you to be your ethnicity. And that is so true. Now you're gonna hold up your gay pride flags like the ones I have in the back. You're gonna hold those up, but then when it's time to be your ethnicity, you throw that up. Because in America, you are still who you are.
In the United States of assimilation.
And I will say this, I have been afforded the opportunity. I have good friends, all ethnicity backgrounds. I have great friends. I've been afforded the opportunity to work with both the Black community, the white community, the Hispanic community. I've been afforded to even, be a part of the pile, the combination of all. So I'm one of those who have been on literally every side of the fence when it comes to this community. Like, seriously. When I think about it, it's almost mind-boggling. Like, wow, I can really discuss all areas. I've been there. For example, we just celebrated Pride here, which is called Capital City Pride, here in Jackson, Mississippi, where we had thousands of people that turned out. Where we performed, had an entire festival day on Lakeland Drive at the what's the stadium on Lakeland? Smithville Stadium. Something that has never happened. Yeah. And it was amazing. However, you have what they consider Black Pride that's in November, and you got 100 people there. And they can't get almost enough funding to walk down the street.
That's a whole nother onion layer right there.
That's what she was talking to me about.
So absolutely. It is there. The divide is there. The divide is there.
Okay. So we just have to keep working on all ends, man. It's crazy. It's crazy. But you guys, I do want us to talk about this Alec Baldwin issue. They was working on set, and but you guys, I do want us to talk about this Alec Baldwin.
You got the feedback.
Let me get off of my phone. He was on set at shooting a movie, I think, called Reno, and he actually killed a person and injured another person.
Yup. I read that, and I read that story, and I was like, well, warning come before destruction. When we were reading the article, you notice that though there were 3 crew members that said they had mentioned before about that assistant director and one of his sets being dangerous, because somebody got shot on a movie set that he was involved in before. And so, this time they're saying, well, Alec Baldwin was told that the gun was safe. It was supposed to be checked by this person. And then the last person that was supposed to check it was that assistant director, the hall guy, before he gave that gun to Alec to rehearse on that scene. So apparently you didn't check it, because once again, somebody got shot on the set, and this time somebody died. The guy before, got an ear injury. So, you know, they were saying this guy had so many red flags, he should have been off the set. He should have been out of the way. And it's bad that it takes somebody losing their life, you know. And so, if I'm not mistaken, Alec Baldwin, didn't he have a drinking problem before? So, man, this is something that could take him straight over the edge. How would you like to try to sleep with that right there? You know, you accidentally killed him, but it still don't feel no better. You know, because you watched this person die. And you trusted somebody to tell you this gun is safe, and I pointed and pulled the trigger, and that person is gone. That's devastating. So I think they need to maybe, you know, take a little closer look at this Hall guy, because, you know, one incident was too many, but 2 is definitely enough. So they might need to take another look at him. That's what I got to say.
Absolutely, I agree.
Yep. I mean, you know, it's like I don't understand why if somebody tells you something once and gives you a warning about something, you know, and then you see a negative consequence from it, that ought to make you, you know, your eyebrow raise up and say, you know, do we need to let this person be the last one that checks this weapon to make sure? But I think out of this too is going to come some changes on sets when it comes to guns and weapons and stuff like that.
I was always under the impression that there were rubber bullets and other types of things used. You know, that, I mean, from my experience of being on sets, from my experience of being a part of, you know, sets, productions, all of that. I've never known or seen that there were real guns, even with having an armorer on standby. I've never seen it, you know. So I wonder, where did that come from? Did it come from, oh, we need to make things more realistic now, or something? Or I don't know where that came from.
It's crazy. I would have thought that it was fake.
Even if it was a real gun, why are there bullets there?
But Jay, they said the armorer checked it first. That the armorer checked it, and then the assistant director, the Hall guy, was the last one that checked it, and he told him that this one was safe, that there were no bullets in it.
That there were 3 firearms as well.
No, there were 3. He chose one. There were 3 of them.
Right, and he chose one of the 3.
That's the one they didn't check.
He chose one. He chose one of 3.
Right.
Yeah.
And they said that his words were, that you use on set, a cold gun. It was cold, meaning no ammunition, no anything.
That's so sad. You know, when I read that, I was like, wow, that's like, you know,
sad.
That's like, what if she had kids and then her kids kiss her goodbye, she kissed them goodbye that morning, and in your mind, you're planning what you're going to do when you get home that evening, and then mama's not coming home, you know, so I'll be like, man, I don't know Alec Baldwin personally, but y'all better keep him in prayer. Him, his family, it's a tough situation.
Yeah, he's an alcoholic.
Because I would
he's
think
been through it, so I can't imagine.
Jobs. From my experience, being a scenographer and a light tech or a sound tech, you know, on set or something, to me, those are the most safe jobs you can have.
You would think, wouldn't you? And then the cinematographer ends up dead.
Right, but it's like, whoa, because just me from the environment, that's why it's so mind-boggling to me, because I've been in that environment, you know. And it's just like,
yeah. That when I read that, I was like, what?
We even have fake glass, like bottles, to keep you from getting cut when you're busting bottles on heads and stuff like that. Like, it sounds and looks real, but it's not. It's more of a type of fiber type, some type of glass or some kind of something. But it looks real, sounds real, but it's not sharp. It doesn't cut or anything. So
it's scary to think that somebody thought it was okay to bring a real gun on set with real ammunition. I mean,
and this guy,
why would you ever think that was safe or okay when kids kill each other by picking up guns and accidentally pulling the trigger, and you're an adult?
He's psychotic. He has something going on up here. He wants some real.
Hall guy,
So you got
the assistant director. Yeah, something's wrong. Because like I said, this is the second time something like that has happened, and maybe this is it.
Where he has been in charge of the firearm.
Well, he need to be in charge of crafts from now on. That's what he need to do. Just handle the food.
No, he plays Russian roulette.
How about that? What you say, Dr. J?
Of the movement in Greenwood,
it's vibrating.
We heard gunshots.
Dr. J.
Can y'all hear her?
Oh man,
It's
Can't
vibrating. It's what is it? Reverberating or something?
Yeah, it's bouncing off.
While we wait on Dr. J, Hall should be a PA on set. That means he go get coffee and donuts.
Well, that's what he need to do.
No, I don't think he should be on set because he's playing Russian roulette. He playing Russian roulette. He playing Russian roulette, but he really messed up and he gave you some coffee and put your tail to sleep the rest of the thing. Like, no, he needs to go someplace else. Exactly. No, he doesn't need to be there. I don't trust it. I'm sorry.
What jail they want to build here? Another jail.
Build jail for him? Yeah.
Like I know. Yeah.
Yeah, it's pray for everybody involved in that because that's
I don't know, you guys, but
that's real bad.
Is she back, Dr. J back?
Oh, yeah, she is. We see you.
I see her.
We seeing double. We see ya.
So can y'all hear me?
Hey, Blondie, we see you.
Yeah.
So I was saying that I worked on sets of Women of the Movement, and we were filming at the Civic Center, and we heard gunshots, and so they shut down the set, and we were shut down for like maybe 45 minutes to an hour, and people were so scared. So I just can't imagine what actually would have happened, you know, if someone has lost their life, or you see somebody injured and you see blood. Like, I just can't imagine what the reaction was on set. So that's
to see her die. To be like, a second ago I was talking to her and now she laying on the floor bleeding out. And
think about her spot person that was right next to her, because you have on set, they have to have a spot person. And I was reading in the one of the interviews where the spot person was like, they just couldn't believe what had happened.
It happened so fast.
Yeah, the spot person is literally this close to that person, because they're the eyes for them. They're watching their steps, they're moving around, you know, they're their eyes and ears for them as they're working. And you just imagine it being right there.
Yeah, that's bad right there.
So we would definitely keep that family and the Baldwin family, because I just can't imagine what Alec is going through.
Yeah.
So we're just gonna keep them lifted in prayer.
And I think her name is Helena Hutchins. I think that's how you
So we are praying for the Hutchins family.
Yeah, and what was the other guy? Was he a director too? The one that got shot, but this
I don't know his name.
That was injured. Yeah.
So in this next story, you guys, I'm sure you all probably seen it online. This couple have been receiving slack. A 61-year-old Florida man faces backlash for marrying his 18-year-old goddaughter. What are your thoughts? Do you think
I saw that foolishness.
Do you think people are too young, too old? You think it should be a certain age to be married?
I saw that foolishness.
I think it's a great big difference in everything between 18 and 60 something. And that poor baby just starting to go out. Look at you. And he need to be in a cell next to R. Kelly. Jay, what you doing?
He waving the flag, baby.
This is what?
It's terrible. That baby probably that's probably her first date.
Earlier in DP, we live where?
This so sad. That poor baby.
You leave them people alone.
United States.
Maybe she'll wake up by the time
she's granddaughter,
21.
great granddaughter.
That's her granddaddy.
Leave them people alone.
There's something weird about that. There's something weird about that.
She 18. She gonna even know. I ain't gonna be rated X, but come on, he's 6 and something. At 18, you gotta get down better than that right there. He's
on top.
It's not funny.
For me, Jay, he's 6 or something. He's strictly missionary. That girl 18.
He might be shooting blanks, so she can't get.
They got 5 kids already. 4 or 5 kids already.
Well, it's a bit much
no
for
idea.
Me.
He's going.
One thing about it. Whatever Social Security he has is hers.
She might get that this year.
When these people finish roasting,
that is terrible. It's just tacky and it's terrible.
Okay, listen. This is my thing.
You 18.
I don't.
Go.
For me, age means nothing. But we live in a conscious society and world.
And 60.
Things are, but wait, seriously, that things are supposed to be A, B, C, D, E, F, G. Now, you know, I'm gonna mind my own business on this. I wouldn't marry no one 61 if I was 18. And I would marry no one 18 if I was 61.
Right.
Me. But now, there was a time, I don't think the gap was that big, but there was a time, and especially our culture,
they was doing that mess.
Where you was married at 12 and 13, you were married.
To an 18-year-old, 16-year-old, y'all have
on your third child, probably. In our community. So I try to understand, seriously, I try to understand where did it become.
That's a good question. Good commentary.
Where did it become wrong? Who decided that this gap is wrong?
She 18. She got so much more to see and do.
I have 2 comments to make. So the first comment is Mary was 14 when she became pregnant with Jesus. My second comment is most states said, when you said who determined, most states made laws saying that you have to be 18 to be considered an adult.
Yeah.
So
you ain't.
But I just want to throw those 2 things out there.
But mentally, a lot of times you're not at 18. I think for me, 18, right. you have so much in front of you to live and see and do and experience. And at 60, he's already had his opportunity to do all these things. And now you're gonna be in this position of wife. And that's just what else? I don't know. I just don't think,
I was married at 19.
I don't think it's good. Was you married to a 60-year-old?
I was married at 19.
Huh? See what I'm saying? No, you married to a 60-year-old. She gonna be like, "Can we go out? Can we go out and go dance?" And he gonna be like, "No, my back hurt. We ain't going nowhere today. We're gonna watch this black and white movie. This is what we're gonna do."
So
we going to
from my they had a family. They had a family relationship, though, right? Some type of family relationship.
Goddaughter. Oh yeah, he was sneaking and creeping.
Ooh, I wonder what the family got to say. She think
that's her daddy. She said that's her daddy. She call him daddy. Cause nothing. Let me stop. Let me stop. This ain't that show. Jay, this ain't that show.
So
Jay,
no. You want the people to watch, just watching, to type their comments in the chat. What do y'all think? Do y'all think 18 is too young to be married to a 16-year-old? Weigh in on the subject. You know, I think people, if we live in a free country, people should be able to do whatever they want to do and marry whoever they want to marry.
Whenever they're ready. You want some more?
That's Jay fault. Y'all see Jay keep filling up my glass. That's Jay fault. He made me say that.
Yes.
So, yeah, I'm gonna wipe my nose on it. I'm just gonna sit and see what color the wall's gonna be.
Ooh, child.
Cause I mean, it may play out in her favor. It may not.
It just may, cause her name on the beneficiary line now. Yeehaw.
He might not be around too long, huh? Yeah, he is 60 something. He still got another 15 years left.
I really want to know, was there reason like really behind it? Like, I wonder if she had to be legal or something. I don't know. I mean, I wonder, like, were they immigrants or something? Like, I don't know.
Oh, is she like an undocumented? Is she an undocumented?
The piece is just
undocumented.
She needed her green card.
Maybe so, but still, the piece is just. But even with that, if she grows older and he grows older, it ain't gonna be good. Maybe who knows?
He's not even cute.
Maybe it's some funds involved, like some kind of
maybe
stuff.
Like them funds that them people could have won on the Squid Game. Like, how many of you seen Squid Game?
I seen that mess, and let me tell you that all I can say is capital WILD, and it's bloody. It will give you nightmares. And it's one of those shows, it's so crazy. Every time they got ready to shoot or kill, I had to do this. And then I wanted to see the game they were playing. But baby, let me tell you something. When that blood was going all over the place, like Jay said, he want to see what color the wall gonna be. The walls are red. You know you wrong. You know you wrong, right?
Yeah, look at
that. You know you wrong, Squid.
Red light, green light, stop. Oh my goodness.
Red light, green light, stop. That was the worst one. No, the worst one was the what was it? The candy or something in the tin can, baby.
No, it was a cookie. Out. It's a cookie, and people have been around him making
he started licking on the back of that. He was licking the buds off his tongue. That movie is crazy. Wow, it is crazy.
We sat and binge watched all 9.
Yeah, I did too.
I watched it and I was thinking, you know what? That right there. I was thinking, this is the kind of stuff too. Kids think it's entertaining and funny, but some may actually be crazy to try. They'll try to imitate stuff like that, and somebody end up dead for real. You have to be careful what you put out there.
Let me say this. There was a message, a powerful message in this movie, in this series. I got several different messages from this film, and you really need to you really need to really watch this film.
It's crazy.
To really learn what those messages were. And it was several different powerful messages in the film.
Yeah.
So
in between all the gore and all the brains on the wall and on the floor and all over the place, it's
and you know something though, what's so interesting yet sad about, to me, one of the main messages is that I'm not gonna say who, but the type of people that it truly attacks, because I think it is an attack, because it's a mindset, it's a mind thing that I got from that.
Yeah.
And if you are one of those people that feel like it doesn't matter at all costs, I might as well try it. It's not.
Or you desperate.
It's not going here. The one guy and his daughter is what gave me the message that I'm speaking of. It was so sad. The guy that the husband, the ex-husband and the daughter situation. And that was like, to me, like the main message, like, wow. So
what does it profit a man to gain the world?
You better say it. And all she wanted was her daddy to be there for her, and he couldn't
care
because
about
of his
anything.
own addiction and burden. He was caught
that he
up in the
wanted to
gambling.
give her. She didn't care about any of that he wanted to give her, but him.
She wanted
but
him.
He was trying to please him.
He was stuck on gambling. Yeah, he had an addiction. He had a burden, and this is where it landed him. And what was really crazy was the fact that I was like, okay, he got out. Great. I just couldn't believe you went back.
Yeah.
No way. You went back. Yeah. No way. You get me out of the forest. I'm not going back. And he went back. And the guy, I think, a lot, they knew when they dumped them out that all of those people are really going to end up coming back. You're going to come back.
The same thing with the judicial system.
You're going to come back.
You better know what to say.
That's why when you get out, you look, please don't go back.
I might as well go back. Ain't nothing out here for me. I can't get nothing out here.
That's how some of them justify.
Some take my chance and rob this bank.
You go on tap somebody else and go on back.
Yeah, it was. That movie was crazy.
But did y'all pay attention to how when he showed them the money, that it got their attention?
Yeah, they knew exactly what to do when.
Greed.
Focus on the money instead of focus on what was really important. And then when they figured out, wait a minute, I can kill off some people to get some more money.
Of all evil.
It's the root of the USA. That's it.
All.
The word also says that money solveth all things.
Yep. It's all about the spirit and mindset attached to it and how you handle it. That's what it's about.
Ain't that something?
Because it was going to handle all of their debt problems.
Yeah, the root of all evil and solve all things. Ain't that something?
Yeah.
Yes.
So it's got to be a balance, and they didn't have a balance. They were completely out of control.
To where and what was so interesting, the out of control became when they knew it. Those that were in control knew. We'll just make them kill each other.
Right.
Yeah. What about that bridge? Oh my goodness.
Right. Oh man, that bridge was wild. When they pushed, no, baby. I said,
when she grabbed him,
I said, hell has no fear like a woman scorned.
Baby.
When that woman said, I told you I was gonna get you. And he was fighting to get loose. And she was like, I'm going, you going with me. I'll kill us both. I'll let you walk away. I told Jason, I said, baby. When
she locked in.
She gonna get you.
And she did that.
She got him and they fell back like swan dance. They just went.
No, she leaned back, baby. She said it's over with. We ain't gonna make it across.
We going together.
Ooh, baby.
That lady told him that when she gave herself away.
She sure did. She told him.
Explained to him before she gave herself away now.
She did. And they went off of that bridge like Thelma and Louise. That was the best part of the whole movie right there.
Is in the power of the tongue. Y'all better listen to people.
You better hear it. And believe
careful what you say.
And Dr. J went like Maya Angelou would always say, when people show you who they are, believe them. That lady said, I'll kill you. if you run me over, you do me bad, I'll kill you. And he cussed out, talked about it. He was like, you ain't gonna be able to do nothing to me. Ain't nothing gonna happen. But hey, what goes away came back around on him at the time when he least expected. And when she locked onto him, I said, oh my God, she gonna kill him and her too. If I go, you go with me. If I can't have you, ain't nobody have you. And she took him on. Woo, Jay. Woo.
Yeah, we've been up here talking. It's our time has been up, you guys. We just running 9 miles.
We 9 minutes. Jay, keep on pouring this up.
You know it's a view from the sip. So hey,
we from the sip. We sipping. Now we done got the sipping and we got the talking. Take it to the head, Dr. J. Let's turn the whole water bottle out. Just hydrate.
Hey, trying to get it in my
hydrate to be great. Hydrate, be great.
So I came on. I was trying to rush to get on because I'm actually here in the city of Reno, the biggest little city in the world, just enjoying the view. Look at that, y'all. Isn't that beautiful?
Wow.
That's beautiful.
Just beautiful,
Wow,
beautiful.
that is.
And so this hotel has a bowling alley. This hotel has a mall attached. This hotel, when I tell y'all, oh my goodness, just beautiful. And this is my first time in Reno.
That's the kind of place I wouldn't sleep. I'll be up all night.
I know, right?
You'd be looking for me.
I guess you guys ready for final thoughts?
Absolutely.
Yes.
What you got, Miss Felicia?
Final thoughts, y'all. Life is short. The next day is not promised. Be kind. That's my final thought. Life is short. The next day is not promised. Be kind.
I love it.
And if you can't be kind, don't you dare go be nasty.
Be quiet. Amen. All right, Miss Jackie, what you got?
You know, I'm stuck on November 2nd. So I just want everyone to exercise their right to vote. And if you don't want to vote and you don't care about yourself, vote. Think about your children, your grandparents, the vulnerable adults, all of the other members of our other communities, and just life, period. And just learn to love each other. But I mean, if we're not voting, Doc, I don't know why we're existing right now. I don't know what we're doing. Amen. Except just existing. So please go vote. Absentee voting has begun. You can go tomorrow between the hours of 8 and 5 at your courthouse, at both courthouses in Raymond and in Jackson, in Hinds County, in downtown Jackson, and vote. If you're not sure to vote for, ask somebody. Don't ask nobody off the wall now, but ask somebody. You can call me. It doesn't matter. We really and truly need you to. I need you to pencil somebody in. We got to start voting.
Right.
So,
thank you for that reminder. What you got, Jay?
Well, my final thought is going to be, remember that your opinion is not necessary and is not fact. It's just an opinion. And always carry you a Kleenex, a piece of tissue, or a paper towel to wipe your nose if it's running. That's my final thought.
That sounds like what my granddaddy might say. That's deep.
Oh, yes, indeed. I love it.
Here's to philosopher.
Stand up, y'all.
Philosopher Jay.
If I could stand up, I would look like this. Y'all to the back of my head.
He never lets us down. Yes, indeed.
Never.
It's always fun hanging out with you, ladies and gentlemen.
Oh my God.
So my final word is, I just want to remind people what the First Amendment says. Congress shall make no law respecting an establishment of religion or prohibit the freedom thereof, the free exercise thereof, or abridging the freedom of speech or of the press, or the right of the people to peacefully assemble and to petition the government for a redress of grievances. So you have the right to speak your freedom. You have a right to express yourselves. It doesn't matter who don't like it, who's not comfortable with it. That's between them and God. That's not your problem. Live and be who God designed you to be. And He designed you that way for a purpose. Everything and everybody God created, He created for a purpose. Whether you know it or not, whether you like it or not. So live on purpose, live your dreams, be the best that you can be, and it don't matter who don't like it. So thank you all for tuning in to A View from the Sea.
Baby.
Good night, everybody.
We thank
Remember, y'all do it peaceably.
Good night,
and we will see you all next week. Same time, same place.
Just do it though.
Take a kiss to the sip.
to stay informed about what's happening right here in Jackson, Mississippi. Keep it locked to A View from the SIP.